Hello everyone and welcome to the Skul tier list, the infamous. I've been teasing this for so long now it's not even funny anymore. But here we are, the final tier list on this current version of the game, which should be like just as like right before the big Skul rework. So quite a few things have changed since last time, but more than just my understanding of the skulls, my understanding of like the general like game is different now. What I mean by that? By that I mean I understand what can be considered meta and what can't. Like what's the general state of the game right now? What do you need in this like current version of the game mostly? Like what items work best? Like gunpowder meta. Like that is gonna impact quite a bit. But the most that has changed right now is that I actually want to have an SS tier, not just S A B C D, but I also want to have an SS tier, which would be free wins. These are like I look back at my previous tier list and I just like thought, okay, no, these calls do not belong in the same tier. There's no way. Like I cannot keep these calls in the same tier. Absolutely not. It's a crime. But in addition to that, we have Monkey, Gravedigger, and the legendary form of Prisoner to talk about. They're placing. And also, this version of the tier list also has quints, so I actually just made them like a separate thing, a separate tier, just because quints are not skulls. Like they sort of work like skulls, these three, but at the same time they're not, because like if you want to count Slime as a skull, they're like, well, bro, he's literally invincible. Like he's literally invincible. There's nothing you can do to him. Like it's just a free win technically. But he has a cooldown. Like he has like other issues that like a skull normally does not have. So that's why I don't want to count this thing as a skull. Like, it feels weird to count it. But same as last time, I'm actually gonna go like in the order they are here. So absolutely no issues there. And we'll just go for Alchemist right off the bat without wasting too much time. We all know the deal. Alchemist, if you get fire, it's literally a free win. Actually, a free win, zero questions asked. But there's one issue. Fire Flask is only one of four possible flasks. And you only have one ability you can reroll. And if you don't run into reroll lady, it's kind of rough. And even if you do run into the reroll lady, you kind of have to make like maybe she have like pops up in like arc 4 or like late arc 4, like right before Joan. Like yes, the two bosses after are gonna be pretty easy, but like up until then it's kind of rough. So I still feel like it's just not fair to count Alchemist as a fire user. Like Fire Flask Alchemist is easily SS tier. As I've said before, undoubtedly the best magic skull in the game. Like there's not even competition there. Like the second best can't even compete with this guy. He's not even on the same level. That's how much better Alchemist is. But because of the other flasks, he has the remaining A tier. Like I'm sorry. You could argue maybe S tier in the sense of like, okay, well, Fire Flask is like SS tier and the others are like A tier. So maybe average out to S, but I feel like it's still like it's 3-1. Like there's no. With the other flasks though, why is he A tier? Well, Golem. The Golem is like a free room clear most of the time. He just like summon your big boy, he sends out this massive wave of energy ball that like clears out everything. On bosses though, it will start to struggle a bit, unless you have Fire Flask. That's it. It's as simple as that. Arclich. He's insane. He is the second best magic skull in the game. What do I mean by that? Right after Fire Alchemist, because as I said, like I almost feel like counting Fire Alchemist as a separate skull. That's how much different he is. But besides from Fire Alchemist, Arclich is the best. Like you saw in the last video I made about him, it's like He can just erase bosses. He doesn't have too much trouble against rooms, but he has his issues. That's why he's not SS tier. Like he's absolutely not SS tier. He has issues with like the hitboxes. Sometimes the hero will just like completely whiff, like the death trap will completely whiff on the hero. So it's just absolutely not fair to even count him. And him as SS tier, he is really good though. You will almost never run into trouble with Arclich. For a more detailed guide on what I mean, do check out that video. Um, let's see, Berserker, insane, absolutely. Berserker is he actually has support value. That's like the first thing I want to mention, just because that's the first thing he has when he's unique. Like you can actually keep him as unique and get some support value. It's not the best support in the game, or even like that close to it, because there's not many good supports in the game. But it's not that insane of a support, but it's still good for like a lot of skulls. Like you can actually use him well with like Balrog. You can use him well with like Kyrian users because he buffs your attack speed. You know, there's quite good synergy with a lot of skulls. But he on his own, you've seen me before use him. He deals insane amounts of damage. He is devil mode, like when he activates devil mode, that'll actually clear anything on the screen, which is insane amounts of damage. He'll deal. It has really good range. One of his other abilities, like I don't remember what it's called, but the one that like he slashes forward many times, works really well with sorry, with Gunpowder Sword, which, as we've said, is the most meta item right now in the game. So easily S tier. He's insane. He's an absolute like beast of a skull. Champion. Champion is good. Champion is really good. The best parry in the game. Magic Champion is literally busted. Like it's a brain dead way to win the game. Magic Champion, and you don't even need much. Like all you need is Mage's Necklace, and that's it. Just add like whatever like fodder damage mods you need. That's how easy it is to build this guy. What about the rest? Well, physical champion is really good. If you give him gunpowder, he deals really great damage, like really great damage. His slowdown works on bosses. It's really good. As I said, his parry is the best in the game. The other abilities don't really matter, but they're good. Um, he's a speed skull, so he gets to use the speed bone. You know, not much. So like really solid overall, but without the gunpowder, he won't really be doing like berserker kind of stuff. You know. But in terms of utility, he's one of the most like he allows you to do anything you want as long as you're good. That's kind of skull he is. Like if you can literally just parry anything if you're like an actual like AI, a god. You can just parry anything instantly SS tier. Like if you're a bot, you know, a computer. But since well, like look at him realistically, he sits fairly in A tier, above other flask alchemists though. Clown, insane, insane amounts of damage, really good range. He works with gunpowder really well. He doesn't need specific items to work really well. What even do I say? He's a speed skull. He has double dashes. He has a decent aerial attack. He has a tracking ability. There's honestly like not much you can say against Clown. He's really solid. One of the best speed skulls is it. Gambler. Gambler sort of works. Um, he has damage issues. We've talked about that. And even when he doesn't have damage issues, he has RNG issues. Like he has layers upon layers of RNG that you actually need to hit all of them right for you to actually start doing like good things in the game. And even then, it's not anything impressive because like almost everyone else that's above him can do that kind of thing. Like his damage is still not Arclich damage, even though there's insane amounts of RNG. It's not Clown damage. It's not Berserker damage. It's not Gunpowder Champion damage. Regardless, it's massive. It's the RNG is too much for this guy right now. So like he sort of works because he still has like decent things, but it's not that great. Gargoyle. Gargoyle almost works. Like he just falls like right exactly short of working as a skull. Um, he he's a balanced skull, so that's good. He has double air dashes. He has good utility, that's for sure. He has a slowdown ability, and that's about it. You know, like he has really big damage issues. He keeps you in place for too long when you're using your abilities most of the time. The abilities are a bit funky to use. When you're slowing down people, there's not really much you can do except deal the laser damage, which is not that great. So it's like he has good fundamentals, but he's lacking like that big oomph, if you know what I mean. Let's see, Genie. Genie sort of works. He is an alright. He has a, a bad dash, honestly. He has a pretty bad dash. Uh, you've seen me talk about why Genie's dash is bad. He doesn't have iframes. He has like such a short. He has barely any iframes. He has some, but they're really really short. They work. He sort of works on a like dash build, but at the same time, almost any other school also works on a dash build. If you look at it like that, like his dash is just fast, and that's it. His dash like quirk, the fact that he summons people, it's not that great. Being real, it's kind of whack. They deal bad damage. They have bad range. They're really hard to aim. You have to like position your whole body for them to like start hitting. It's painful to hit on smaller targets, even on bigger targets. It's meh, you know. There's so many issues with this guy, but at the same time, he does have like an insanely good basic attack. He has invincibility on some of his abilities, so like it's not actually garbage, but he needs help right now. He needs help. Ghoul, you all know the deal. Very good at rooms, but gets stuck everywhere. You'll get hit by anything. It doesn't work against bosses. But he's still very good on rooms. Like you can still clear. Like if you're like your biggest size, one press of the inhale button, and that's instantly a room clear. Like I don't care where you're at. That's a free room clear. Hunter, same thing. Doesn't deal much damage. Needs gunpowder to start dealing damage. Has concentration issues. For some reason he has range, like he has a limited range. It's not infinite. Why is this guy's range not infinite? Like he's literally built for that. He's a sniper, for God's sake. He's a sniper. Why does he have limited range? Like you can actually not shoot the Chimera from one end of the stage to the other. Like it will not reach. Like your stationary shot will not reach. I still don't get why. But whatever. It's not for me to decide. He's gonna get changed this patch though, so I hope they give you more damage. That's all I hope. Mummy, A tier, good. He's really good. And if you give him gunpowder, S tier. You can say one of the best gunpowder users. Works really well with magic. Um, what else do we have? It's like works well with mana bone. Works well with ritual stuff. His physical build is really good. With gunpowder, as I said, he's broken. Like very clear on that. Ninja, he's a good B tier. You know, he has almost everything you need except like that big damage, which is why with gunpowder he's instantly like much better. But without gunpowder, he needs that damage. He starts struggling on the damage. He has 4 abilities. He has insane amounts of mobility, like actually the best in the game. Uh, and that's kind of about it. He is fundamentally good. Just give him a bit more damage and he'll be really good. Predator free win. I don't even think I need to explain much. Hack instantly erases any boss. Very good swapping ability. His other abilities are really good, be it for like boss clearing or room clearing. Absolutely zero cooldown issues. Um, no range issues, no room issues, no damage issues. I don't know. There's literally nothing this guy doesn't have. Actually, nothing. Like you can just play this guy as he is, and you're just goaded. Prisoner King free win. absolutely easily. Again, insane damage, no cooldown issues, no damage issues, does not need to care about any rooms, any sort of enemy, any boss, nothing in the game. But he has one big issue, and that is the fact that you cannot swap him out. So not only does King not take any support, but he also cannot give any support. So there's like a big flaw for him, which keeps him like uh, which like holds him back, but at the same time he's so good otherwise that it literally does not matter. Rider, insane. You jump on the motorcycle, you clear any room. You jump on the motorcycle, you clear any boss. You jump on the motorcycle, you just like you do your taxes. You jump on the motorcycle, you get a girlfriend. You jump on the motorcycle, you like the friends respect you, like the neighborhood, everyone just starts like they just respect you a lot more. The bike makes this guy a character, similar to how like Arclich is the character from Death Trap, or I don't know, Alchemist is a fire is literally made by Fire Flask. So yeah, Rider on the bike, insanely good. On the bike, he also gets more crits, so that's like more gunpowder synergy. He's just really good. He's insane. Rockstar. Rockstar is pretty much worse prisoner, but magic. So he has really big cooldown issues. Similar to Prisoner though, he does not like being swapped out because the cooldown on the band will stop. But other than that, he doesn't have many issues. Also, the cooldown on his maps, on his amps, is somewhat big. Somewhat, it's not too big, but it's just like sort of annoying that you can't spam it in rooms. Other than that, though, similar to Rider, you just spawn the band, put down the amps, any boss, erase. Most rooms will just die. Uh, but usually you don't want to use the amp for you don't want to use the amp for like room clearing nor the band. But yeah, otherwise insane. Samurai A. Samurai can instantly clear bosses with a good build, but at the same time, so does everyone else. Mummy with a good build instantly clears bosses. Champion with a good build instantly clears bosses. Rider, Rockstar, Clown, Berserker, Arclich, whatever. Everyone can instantly clear bosses with a good build. Like, the fact that it does like a big one shot is kind of meaningless because nobody really lacks damage at this point of the game. At this tier of the tier list. So otherwise on rooms is pretty meh. Yeah, the big boss clearing really helps him out. Like he's actually like a good monkey right now. Little Skull, he's B tier. He didn't change. You know the deal. He's bad otherwise, but like once you get the Mana Bone and the Mage's Necklace, he's actually really good. He instantly becomes really good. But other than that though, that's kind of it about Skull. Like you already know the deal. Petty Thief A tier. Free invincibility. You can act and do anything you want in that invincibility. Freaking good utility with like the gold. He can work as both physical and magic, although the physical is not as great as the magic. But he's really carried by that invincibility ability. I think it's his best ability. Living armor. By the way, I didn't mention, but most of these will not be in any order. Anyway, living armor. You already know the deal. Living armor, great room clear, great boss damage. Uh, he sort of has his concentration, but at the same time it's not too hard to build it. Like you actually gain 1 point something bar just from swapping into him, so it's not that big. He can use his abilities many times. Like you can use the same ability 3 times in a row, which gives him a lot more damage. So yeah, just solid overall. Like I've talked about him in my video, and yeah, he's really solid. Bomber A tier. He's good support, good like sort of damage. Broken if you get him twice, but that's about it. About Bomber, there's not much sauce to this guy. Like he's just a good support to people who need to swap out a lot. And doesn't work. Absolutely dysfunctional to his core. Um, it keeps changing passives, keeps changing damage, really bad damage. His legendary passive is actual garbage. His rare passive is not bad, but it falls off way too much. His unique thing, like with a big fist, is meh, but at the same time, again, same thing as rare. It starts to fall off. There's actually no way to really make Ant be C tier. Like, there's actually no way you can argue Ant is like not bottom 2 in the game. I would even go as far to say it's the worst call in the game. But it's a bit debatable on that last one. He's terrible. Like the patch will hopefully fix him, but let's see how it works out. Frost, as I said, his abilities are worse living armor, whose abilities are really good, but he's also balanced, so he gets like mana bone, ritual stuff. He has double dashes. He doesn't have a physical basic attack, so he has a lot of things that just like make him solid. Um, but yeah, that's kind of it for Frost Skull. Like he's just solid overall. Like decent room clear, decent boss damage. Nothing really like stops him. Gravedigger. I know like people are gonna hate me for this one, but Gravedigger is B tier. Like people, I feel like people over like overplay his damage and like capabilities quite a bit. It's like, oh, you have graves anywhere. No, you don't. Like you have a lot of graves, but not anywhere. Like if you want graves in a specific spot, you don't always have it. And like just that fact is giga annoying. It's super annoying. Most of his summons are on terribly long cooldowns. Actually, terribly long cooldowns. And even when they're not on cooldown, they have trouble hitting a lot of people. Like Othello and King Lear are decent at that. Like Othello is probably the best one, but King Lear is also like really good because he like hits horizontally a lot. But then Macbeth, he deals quite good damage. Oh, sorry. He deals quite good damage, but at the same time, like a boss can just move out of the big slap. Like what? What you gonna do then? You literally wasted your Macbeth. Hamlet is actually useless. Actually, one of the like his worst kill easily. And like Macbeth doesn't really do that great of a damage either. Like there's no way to really compete with these guys. Like he deals good damage when compared to Frost, for example, or Bomber. But at the same time, like Living Armor does insane damage. Samurai does insane damage. Mummy does insane damage. Champion the same. Like what's the big what am I winning by having Grave instead of anyone else here? Besides just like very very unusual to play, and also his usability is not that great. Like you have to like do big stretches to make this guy work. Monkey, same as Gravedigger. Like he used to be around here, now he's here. Actual garbage. I mean compared to the other speed skulls, because like like there's you're not gonna find any speed skulls here. I'm telling you that. Monkey right now is he likes damage. He has concentration, but his concentration is not that bad actually. It's not that long. It's not terrible. Uh, his concentration has never been the issue about him. The issue about him is that his clones do not proc gunpowder or like the bone of swiftness. Uh, they don't deal much damage. Like they killed his heaven earth slam. He's in a rough spot. Like he needs so many items to work well right now that it's very situational. Otherwise, he'll have damage issues. Paladin, insane. As I showed you all with the last Paladin video I did, as long as you know how to play Paladin, because that's like the number one thing I feel people don't understand about Paladin, how to successfully play him is like use his abilities just to give him the shield. Because then like you run out of shield and you don't have abilities and you're stuck with a physical basic attack. Like there's so many issues that like just it just snowballs from there and it's kind of rough to play. But like as long as you know to keep your abilities in check and keep your shield in check, you have an insanely damaging basic attack, insanely range on the basic attack. It is really fast. It has really high DPS. You have a free 10 health shield that actually works as support because it keeps like it like sticks from skull to skull when you swap. Like there's he does everything. He actually does everything for you. Like the damage is not as crazy as like any of these guys, but his damage is really good on top of having support and a range and like just being very solid overall. Pike, really good. However, I know some of you like to say that Pike is like God tier, insane, S tier, SS tier even, but that's not the case. For Pike to deal really good damage, you're actually gonna have to deal to like use his ability that makes his dash not invincible. And it's like, okay, well, your health is a resource, I understand that. But that means you also cannot use Orc. Because, you don't want to use Orc when you're going to get hit like that. Because things are going to hurt and you are going to die. Like, yes, you'll be dealing really good damage, but you don't want to deal with any of that shit. You don't want to be getting hit too much when you have Orc on. So right off the bat, the best physical Quint is out of the window. You can't use it. Troll, Troll's main strength comes from the fact that you proc Gunpowder on every hit, and that would be good. But Pike cannot proc Gunpowder. If he did proc Gunpowder, that would make him really strong. That would make him silly, you know. But he can't. So Troll right now is just like a damage boost, but at the same time, it's not that great of a damage boost because like you can just have like Thieves Dagger, or like you can just have other crit items. It's not that insane. So Pike right now is really good, but at the same time he's not quite S tier. Like you could maybe argue like around here, he could be around here, sure, but I feel like he has like these two issues I mentioned that just kind of keep him right out of that, but I think he can stay as like the top of A tier right now. Reaper is A tier, easily. Better than Frost, better than Bomber, better than many other skulls. Uh, as I've said before, actually like unbelievably busted on rooms. Like you can literally go AFK. Like have like Shade, for example, the Spirit Shade and Reaper in Arc 4 and just add some like random damage. And you can literally go AFK in any room and you will just like win the room. Like you'll barely even get hit. I even have videos on this, like check out engaging gameplay. Like I've that's the title of the video. And see how engaging it actually is to play Reaper. It is actually busted. It is beyond SS tier. That's how broken it is. Recruit, A tier, easily. Recruit is literally better Gravedigger. Like he's better than Gravedigger using Gunpowder Sword, which as you said is busted. Um, he's a balance skull, so he has two dashes. He does not have a launching area attack. He can use ritual stuff if he wants to. He 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 like works better as a support because like you can just like every time you swap in, you actually have the you actually summon people instead of having to wait for cooldowns, regardless of whether you swap in or not. He He can summon his people, his goons, wherever and whenever he wants. He doesn't have to wait for graves to be there. His archers are actually busted sometimes. Uh, his basic attack actually buffs the damage of his summons, so he does have issues there as well. Like, there's not many things you can argue are bad about Recruit. He's a really, really solid skull. Way better than Gravedigger. Shield Skull. B. Shield Skull is a B tier skull. He's actually way worse paladin. Like, he's a defensive type skull that can create shields, but these shields actually don't stick when you swap out of him. So that's kind of garbage. He he as a defensive skull can parry things, but then once you're done with a parry, like once you're done holding the shield and you're actually attacking, you cannot parry any of that. So that requires quite ridiculous timing and luck for you to pull it off. You're gonna get hit a lot. Um, because like if you're just gonna hold the parry, might as well just like dash. Use dash. Use any skull with a parry ability. Use a use a balance skull because he's power, so he has only a single dash. Just use any balance skull. Like at that point, there's so many other things you could be doing. But why is he B tier? Because the one that makes his like cooldowns shorter is actually quite good. It actually gives him decent damage. Like unironically, that's his best ability. Like, he starts working when you have that. Anything else is just like meh, whatever. You can have it, you may not have it, no big deal. But that one, you gotta have it to start dealing decent damage. Sword, low A tier. Mm, decent on bosses, decent on runes, decent damage, decent cooldowns. Balance calls, you can use ritual stuff, mana bone. Uh, that's about it. Kind of like it's just like decent overall. There's no real issues about it. There's not really much he cannot do, but at the same time, he does not shine anywhere. So I guess A is a good spot for him. Warlock. Warlock is A tier. So like around here. Not sword kind of A tier, but like yeah. He's probably around here. Clears any room without exception. Like you can literally just like hold a corner and be safe. Which is something I forgot about say about shield is like the whole point is to stay safe, but at the same time you can literally use skull with mana bone and stay safe. You can use warlock and stay safe. You can use reaper and stay safe. You can use whatever. You can use so many. You can use mummy and stay safe. You can use alchemist, stay safe. Like, if you just want to stay safe, there's so many better options. And there's literally no reason to go for shield to like stay safe. Like most picks with shield are meme picks, just to like make the health one. But anyway, warlock. Insane room clear, insane damage, long cooldowns, like long concentration speed. Not cooldowns, the cooldowns are decent. Long concentration speed. He needs the meteor ability like desperately. Like if you don't have that, might as well just restart. Uh, his boss damage is actually way better than I remembered last time. So he's easily like high A tier, like around here. Like you can actually, if you stop the concentration right before the big meteor, you deal really good damage actually. So yeah, really really solid pick. Water doesn't work, dysfunctional. As you've heard me say many times about this guy, he just doesn't work. Like he almost works with gun, almost works with and with gunpowder, by the way, the most broken ability in the game, the most broken item in the game. His damage is bad. He's like very core, like the very function of his passive is broken. Like it does not work because you need waves around, and the waves disappear so quickly you can't even like use them effectively. It's so bad. The buffs he gets from waves are actual garbage. Like depending on how many waves there are, the tornado can last a bit longer. Like bro, where's like the damage? Why don't I summon two tornadoes? Why don't I summon two tornadoes in like different directions for like good CC and damage? Like why don't I don't know. I can't even like much right now. Like why isn't the tornado? Why doesn't the tornado become a giant tornado? Like what are these like garbage as results I'm getting from water? Despite using like one of his like worst like one of the worst passives to actually work. Like it's actually so hard to make it work, and even when you do make it work, it sucks. Like, it's so bad. These two are easily the worst two skulls in the game. They don't work beyond belief. Warrior. I know a lot of people like to talk shit about Warrior, but like he's actually B tier. Like all that said and done. Final Strike is like literally a samurai hit kind of, except you gotta concentrate. There's like yes, it's kind of hard to land it on like the hero, for example. But at the same time, it's a free kill on the Joma. Like it's a free kill on like the the archer girl if you don't mind taking the hit. It's a free kill on the sorcerer, um, on the on I'm not sorcerer. I mean the healer adventurer. It's I don't know. It will just like kill the chimera. You can clear rooms with the one that like does the one where he like hops a bit and like smacks his sword to the ground. You can clear rooms with that. You can sort of clear rooms with the one that like he does the when he, like just sends like the beam from the sword like forward and then just like jumps up and does that thing. He's not ability to do damage, but his main abilities are definitely like final strike and the one that does the big hop that like deals a lot of damage. The one that does the hop is a really good room clear, and the one that and final strike is really good boss killing. What is the issue though? Why just beat here? You know the deal. Extremely long concentration time. 2 layers, by the way. 2 layers of concentration. Like one was not enough. He cannot even change the sides when starting to concentrate. Like if I stop concentrate and I'm looking on the left, I can't just like release concentration and attack on the right. Because for some reason that would be broken. Uh, So yeah, like he's so close to being a really good skull. He's so close, but he cannot make it. Just because he's kind of abysmal to work. I'll leave werewolf for last, by the way. Yaksha, C tier. The stomps don't really deal big damage. The fist is stun, does not work on bosses. The march, the one that does 3 stomps, again, like yes, it makes his passive work better, but at the same time the stomps don't deal big damage either. Like the big stomps just do not really hit. Um, what else do we have? Like the one where it, like smashes mace. Like yes, it's sort of decent CC because it's like you slow down people for like a half a second, and like then you smash. But then again, not good damage. I mean, like there's not much Yaksha does well. Minotaur, uh, decent power skull. Like decent damage. Not bad range. Sort of works with gunpowder. Uh, negligible passive though, negligible swapping. Like the swapping is kind of meh. But yeah, so like it's all right. Like you can make him work. No many issues there. He works. Not much to say that. Like you can just watch my video if you want more detailed information. But like he's all right. He needs like if he was not a power skull, he would probably be A tier maybe. Like a bit more. Actually, maybe like he needs like a tiny bit of buff, a bit more buffs, and like hey, give it like a double dash and like a not lunging aerial, and like he's easily A tier. Like, that's not many issues there. Werewolf. Now you've heard me talk about this guy before, the big boy himself. So is he SS tier? Is he free win tier? Not really. Let's compare Werewolf to Predator. Werewolf he deals the same crazy amount of damage. He also has no cooldown issues. He does not have many issues against rooms because he can have like things like beast sleep, things like that, you know. Uh, he has like inbuilt cooldown resets, so that like just off the bat, Predator doesn't really do much that Werewolf doesn't. So we just get it out of the way. Let's compare the Prisoner again. Same insane amount of damage. Werewolf does that. No cooldown issues. Same as this. Like really crazy like abilities that like do literally do the job for you. Same here. Good room clear. Yes. But what does Werewolf have? But like okay, so like we talked about how these guys can't do anything that Werewolf cannot. But can Werewolf do something that these guys cannot do? And the answer is yes, and quite a bit. Um, Instead of just putting him here, like we can literally just put him here, like right here. Like, you know, we can say like this, like Werewolf being here, it means he's the best, right? But at the same time, that doesn't work either because he has the best support in the game. He is a common skull. You can literally get him anytime you want. To get the best support ability in the game, you only need to like spend 10 bones, which is nothing, literally nothing. Um, Predator does not really have any support value, and Prisoner, as we said, not only does not give, but also cannot take any support value. Prisoner has some sort of RNG. Predator, like, how to put this? You can't get hit with Predator because you're stuck in animation. Like, when you're spamming things, you don't want to stop midway, just because then you have cooldown issues. Like, then the cooldown issues start. But because when you spam at max, the cooldown is halved, that is like the main passive. But you also like because of that you will want to get hit. Werewolf does not have that issue. Like he can just stop attacking, start attacking again, stop attacking whenever he wants. You cannot stop him. What else? He has inbuilt critical, like critical chance boost. So he is inherently better than most at using gunpowder, which, as we said, is broken. So he doesn't even need the Thieves Black Steel Dagger. Um, at Legendary, his support becomes even more insane at 150% bonus. Like, that's broken, bro. That's beyond broken. Uh, his aerial attack is the best in the game, undoubtedly. He's a speed skull, so he uses the bonus swiftness. Double dashes, insane mobility, decent like vertical mobility, great speed, literally the speed run skull. Honestly, there is honestly SS plus. Honestly, honestly, the, there's nothing, there's no argument I see to even keep Werewolf in the same tier. Let alone have Werewolf as not the best skull in the game. Uh, there's actually nothing Werewolf cannot do. He is broken beyond belief. He is ridiculously busted. So yeah, I think this is my final thoughts on the tier list. Absolutely. I don't think I'm gonna change much. Like, and the only things I see questionable are maybe that Clown. He could drop a bit below, but nah, he's fine here in my opinion. Anyway, so Werewolf. Closing thoughts. Werewolf, undoubtedly the best skull in the game. Like he's too broken right now. I could even make this like SSS. That's how much. Like He's the best by a large margin. Like it's you don't need to compare much between these two to understand the werewolf is just better. Predator and Prisoner, they're pretty much on par. Like Predator and Prisoner both deal the same amounts of damage. Both don't really use that much. Don't really use that much support, but at the same time, Predator can take support. So you could argue Predator is slightly better than Prisoner, but that's about it. Fire Alchemist, SS tier, free. Um, S tier. Archlich, Berserker, Rider, Clown, Rockstar, Paladin, insane in their own way. They can just clear the game anytime they want. There's not much these guys cannot do. Also, this is not ordered. Nothing here is ordered, by the way. Nothing. A good Pike probably being the best A tier skull. The rest they're pretty. They are like they can go in different spots, kind of. But if I could maybe like start try to order, it would be something like this, you know, slightly. Don't really quote me on that one though. Um, B sort of works. This guy either are almost good enough to be A tier, or they need a specific item to start working as well as A tier skulls. So like Ninja needs gunpowder, Skull needs um, the what you call it Mana Bone and Mage's Necklace. Like Gambler needs damage, Genie kind of meh. Gravedigger, he's worst recruit, you know. Like Minotaurs is a power skull. But C almost works. These guys have their own issues. Gargle Goat, Hunter Yaksha, like they have crippling flaws. They have really big flaws that stop them from being any higher. And D is these guys just like they're very fundamentals don't work. Like these guys are just forsaken by the devs, the god, the whatever, anything, everything is forsaken. These guys, these guys get no love. The new patch might help these guys. Quint, the Quint you have Slime, Barlog, and Harpy just because, as I said, I don't want to tier them as well as like I don't want to tier them like here just because they have like cooldowns and things that other skulls don't have. So it is weird to call these guys that. But anyway, that was the tier list for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, like whether you agree, you disagree, what are your thoughts on it, like what do you see different, you know? And this will probably be the last Skull video until the update. Unless they delay the update, but until the update, this is probably going to be the last Skull video. Just because there's not much to cover. I might as well just like take a break, you know? From Skull, I mean. But there's going to be other games that I'm going to be uploading. And once the update is here, there's going to be a lot of content to cover, so I'm going to be back on the grind. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you did, and tell me in the comment section below what you thought about the tier list. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.